Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, June 6th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We're having a TFCC call this Wednesday night at 9 p.m., and a Reverse Aging Health call this Friday at 9 p.m. Let them throw their curses if inside I am connected to what's true. My soul stays quiet and clear. Do you think God worries what people say? If a few ashes fall on a mirror, use them to polish it. Lali, a 14th century North Indian mystic. No matter what happens to any of us in this life, remember this one sweet understanding. You are powerful beyond measure, beautiful beyond words, and truly an extraordinary being who has access to unlimited love, creativity, and pleasure. You may not be able to fully take this in right now. Yet by the end, this understanding will begin to sink in. It is good to know that our resistance to greatness is our greatest catalyst to diving into a deeper experience of our most enlightened selves. Every experience we have as human beings contains a doorway to a higher divine state. All that is needed is to look for the door, reach out for the golden handle, and walk on through. There are an infinite number of unique experiences available inside you now. To access the higher ones, you must choose to train yourself to relax. Remain open in a state of wonder and be in awe of this infinite universe all around you. Try it just for a few minutes and see what happens. Relax every single muscle in your body. Open your mind up to feeling the infinity that is around you. And relax into a permanent state of awe. You might discover how distracted and unfocused your mind is in the beginning. This is part of your magical 5D training. We often are unaware of or in denial of how much our minds incessantly wander. The awakening to 5D consciousness comes with the realization that this amazing universe is already here within us right now. There is nothing as easy as and fulfilling as relaxing into the sweet paradise that is within your very being. It's easy to discover this open, soft, warm, fuzzy feeling inside when you are alone in nature, quiet, and looking within yourself for many hours. To arrive at this place means letting go of the hectic outer world. Put away the phone. Drop the busy, overly productive to-do lists. And devote to spend some time, some solid quality time with you. Whatever is stopping you from making time for yourself is blocking you from experiencing the most tremendous freedom, love, and joy. So my invitation for you today is that you let go of your life emotionally, mentally, and intentionally loosen your grip on everything until you relax into your higher self. Here, you will find this powerful, beautiful, and extraordinary high vibrational being is your very nature. Letting go of the old contracted ideas about who you are is not easy at first, especially when we are used to spending our lives living like a closet, a closed tight fist. So practice loosening the grip on yourself, your self-imposed identity, and try it for at least 1 hour of the day to relax into a new, lighter, happier, more empowered version of you. You might be pleasantly surprised how much you look forward to this time. When you come to the edge of all the light you know. You are about to step off into the darkness of the unknown. Faith is knowing one of two things will happen. There will be something solid to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. Unknown. When you come to the edge of all the light you know, and are about to step off into the darkness of the unknown, faith is knowing one of two things will happen. There will be something solid to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. The fact is that you are worth it. When you look at yourself in the mirror, what you see is seeing you. Maybe not always clearly. Yet we can only see aspects of ourselves. Our entire self is too huge, too amazing and magnificent to digest in just one sitting. It's like you can look back at your day and remember most of what happened, yet try and look back on your entire life and even past lifetimes and digest everything in the same detailed manner. You are much bigger than the mind can conceive. To start feeling a fraction, just a fraction, of how amazing you truly are, begin with letting go of any limiting beliefs that arise about yourself. If you think you're too nice, too old, too fat, too ugly, too poor, these are old, boring stories and excuses. In truth, they are just tiny electrons passing through the brain, making you believe you're in some prison. Realize these are all just thoughts passing through your consciousness in each moment. You can choose to pay attention to the good ones or the bad ones. It is totally up to you. It is always a choice. You can easily break free from any negative or limiting beliefs running around in your mind by surrendering to loving you. Trust in the feeling of love. Believe that love is the way. Notice how it feels to be a bit more gentle and kind with yourself. What does it feel like to accept all of your parts? Real love is deep and eternal. It has no reason why it loves. It just constantly sends out gentle energy, working its magic and healing all parts of you every time. There is nothing more powerful and transformational than deep eternal love. When you devote your day to loving you, being gentle with you, something very magical occurs. You start to feel the love that is already inside you now. Deep inside your soul is the infinite source of love. The energy of God, source, absolute, consciousness. Whatever name you place on it, the energy is the same. It is creating your experience of reality in every millisecond of your life. And it is the most benevolent, brilliant, and loving source there ever will be. Neither a lofty degree of intelligence, nor imagination, nor both together go to making a genius. Love, love, love. That is the soul of genius. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Everyone on this planet is all on this sacred spiritual journey together. The life is for our enjoyment, transformation, spiritual growth, and eventually our enlightenment. We are here to enlighten the load from our past, let go of all the heaviness we've been carrying for lifetimes. Whatever has been burdening, blocking, or frustrating to us is not real. The very instant we clearly see what is real, then everything changes immediately. There's a great relief inside when we no longer have to fight or resist anything in this life anymore. The war is over. We can see the truth and accept that which we believed was totally unacceptable about ourselves. It is then that our greatest joy and freedom begins to settle in. There is nothing you can do to make a wrong turn in life. Everything is part of your destiny on an infinite highway where everything is connected. All lanes eventually reach the same infinite destination. You cannot mess up your life. You cannot. It is perfectly imperfect, just as it is. It contains all the bittersweet and all the sour elements needed to release your tight grip inside yourself. Relax deeply and find out that you are powerful. You are beautiful and truly extraordinary. On those days when you feel that you made a wrong turn in your life, where you got in trouble for not yielding to the other, where you had an unconscious moment and smashed into someone you loved, it may feel like everything is lost. Maybe you were driving with one foot on the brake and the other foot on the gas, mainly looking backwards in the rearview mirror. The secret here is forgiveness. Let go of whatever mistakes you've made in your life. They are last year's movie. Just observe the judgments of these movies about yourself without participating in that judgment. Welcome the experience of whatever your great error was and accept that it was a lesson teaching you something deeper about yourself and your life. By welcoming whatever judgments are showing up about yourself, the judgeaholic inside gets to step down from its pedestal, and a hint of clarity somehow naturally finds its way in. The glimmer of lightness finds its way into the deepest darkness night of the soul. When you fully experience judgment for whatever it has to say, without holding on to any story about it, the universe has to present itself to you with full clarity. So my invitation for you this week is this. Don't resist any experience that life gives you. Welcome all the good and bad you see inside you. Yet, give some extra special attention to that part of you that is powerful beyond measure, beautiful beyond words, and truly an extraordinary being who has access to unlimited love. Any resistance is futile and just makes you contract from life and get even more emotionally knotted up inside. If you must resist an experience in this life, be conscious about it. Know that it is your choice. There is always another way to experience who you are. Try it for 1 week. And a relaxing, freeing feeling will move in. Just trust the process. Let go and surrender to what is deeper and already at peace on the inside. There is no beginning or ending in the journeyless journey to nowhere. You do not start somewhere. You do not end it anywhere. You are where you are, and you continue from there. Bodhidharma. So if you will, go to a place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies that we're in, because we are not the body. We are not the character, the personality, the name, the belongings, the status. We are the God within. So the body that you're in is like a magnetic sponge. It absorbs everything. Everything. You bring in thoughts, embrace thoughts, you move energy into form, you create them into reality, and you experience them. And the body is the container for all of that. So the way to relax the body is through the breath. You focus on the breath, listen to the breath, and easy and slowly take in a breath through the nose, and easy and slowly let out a breath from the mouth. Once you do this, the body relaxes. It starts to let go. Stress and tension, we store things all over the body. It's not like we know it. We're not conscious about it, but the body absorbs it. And if we don't release it, it will end up in a biological occurrence. It could be way down the road. It could be a short time. The breath is magical because the God goes into the body, powers the body up, everything starts to function. The breath is created. If we didn't have the breath, we wouldn't be able to stay in these bodies. So the breath focuses us, relaxes us, eases us, centers us. And when you do focus on the breath, you leave the mind, ego, subconscious mind alone. You leave them alone. You don't engage them. You still them. And when you move into the now, they don't exist. That's why all the time we are constantly being pulled by the ego mind. We are constantly being directed by the ego mind. So we have these occurrences where it's like a tug of war. And then you begin to realize that you have the awareness where you say to yourself, that's ego mind. You identify it. You kind of call it out, and it disappears. And you remind yourself, and you remind the ego mind, you're not in charge here. And you don't exist here. That's how powerful being in the now is. Now, I haven't met anybody yet on this planet that can stay in the now any length of time, even for a second. It's not a negative. It's just current status. And us determining for ourselves. There's really no judgment here. But it's becoming aware. Each of us becoming aware. That's a good thing. So we know when we focus on our breath, the ego mind, subconscious mind are left outside. And the body relaxes. And we listen to our breath. Now, in the now, everything is in the now. The now is all we have. No matter how the ego mind wants to debate with you, the now is all any of us have. The now is the gateway to the God that we are within the body. The now is the gateway to pure ease, peace, tranquility, benevolence. It's at ease. It's where we put ourselves at ease and we go within. If someone were to come into you and say, hey, what are you going to do tomorrow? Or what are you going to do for dinner even? And you can't answer the question because that's the truth. You're only in the now. You're not an hour from now. You're not 10 minutes from now. You're the now. You become the now. Now, I'm not saying that it is real. It's not complicated. We know that. But when we have been habitualized into out there, right? Future, past, past, future, future, past, past, future. And you get used to it. It's not that easy to be in the now. But to just engage it, even for a second, is powerful. Because if you can do it a second, you can do it for 2 seconds. And you can do it for 2 seconds, you can do it for 3 seconds, and so on and so forth. And, it's interesting because we always have this choice. We're going to get angry, right? Frustrated, irritated, fearful, disruptive with ourselves. And we're putting that energy out there, right? And we know that's low vibrational frequency. But we do have a choice, and it's very difficult to turn that corner, to switch. That's why a lot of people will just continue down, 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 down. Even though they have the power and the choice, they say, why would I expend that energy in low frequencies when I can switch and spend them in high frequencies? And how do you do that? The switch is gratitude. It's being grateful for everything. The switch is gratitude. Now, we all put out, it's constant, 60,000 thoughts plus every day, 24 hours, 24/7. Now, it doesn't mean that we know and identify all of our thoughts that we send out to the universe. That's why we have things that happen in life where we go, where did that come from? Because they're all teaching us something. Not only that, we have these, they're thoughts, tens of millions, billions of these thoughts that fly by like clouds in the sky. But you call them programs, because that's what they really are. And we embrace those. We'll grab onto a cloud and float off. We'd be in the now and we float off. It's not a big deal, because this is when you're always practice being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with oneself, and being in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude. And so when we know we float off, we just say, not a biggie, I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. It's knowing this and being able to execute it. It's being halfway there. You may find yourself doing it several times a day, because we all wander a lot. And our true mission is the first step, is really to go within and to discover the God that we are in this body that we are in. That's the first part. The second part is to stay within. Not out there, but in here. Now, you can find yourself, all of us, standing in front of 3 pathways. Okay? Well, we're in the center. We're in the now. Focused on our breath, listening to our breath. We look on the left. There is a path called yesterday, or the past. And then there's a path on the right called tomorrow, or the future. Now you look at all the paths and you see that the trees have formed a golden canopy over the paths. Golden branches and leaves and bark. And you see that the path itself is this very vibrant, bright, emerald green, flaming grass. Appears to be grass. Now you notice that the now path that you're on looks barely used. And then the one on the left, the past, the yesterday, really worn. Same with the one on the right, the future, very, very, very worn. Now, we all of us reminisce. And these are just, and sometimes they just come in. And we reminisce. I mean, you could have thoughts that take you back to childhood, events that occurred in your life that just come in. And you reminisce, and you wow, that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. I would like to do that again. And we also use yesterday or the past as a guide to look at and say, I did it this way, it didn't work. So I'm going to try it this other way and see if that works. So we use comparisons. We have things to compare with. Now, we all have a great hall. Great hall through the subconscious mind. Understand the subconscious mind. It stores and records everything. From the time you enter the baby body, all the way through life. Not only that, but all the surroundings, all the other people, all the events. And it plays them back. So you go into Great Hall. We all have one. And we go up a couple steps, we open the door and turn on a light. And, when you walk into a room, you don't know it, but the first thing you do is you look at the walls and the ceiling. Well, you do that here in the Great Hall, but you can't see the ceiling or the walls because it's so vast. So what you do is you go around the shelves and the drawers and everything, and you pick up some movies, some books, and some pictures. And so you go and sit in the easy chair, and there's a screen just floating in front of you. And you watch some of the movies, and you read some of the books and look at some of the pictures. No, that was a great time, and this was a tough time, but it taught me a lot. And in a way, it's fun. But we don't stay there. We put everything away in its proper order. We turn off the light, shut the door. And we move forward in life. That doesn't mean we don't visit on occasion. But some of us, unconsciously, will stay there so long that they end up bringing that past into a future that doesn't exist. They create that future from that past, and they relive that past in that future. Then they say to themselves, no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Now, we'll all get anxious. We all get fidgety because the ego mind takes over. And we all get hurried. Got to get there, got to do this, got to have this, do this, get this done, get that done, do this, do that, do this, do that. And we want to know things before they're here. So we take the future path, the tomorrow path, and we seek external authority to tell us what the heck is going to happen in our lives. We want to know what's going to happen before it happens. And we seek out good things. We want to know what is going to happen to me that's good. And actually it's happening for you, not to you. So what's going to happen for me? So you talk with different external authorities because that's what they are. Card readers, tea leaf readers, crystal readers, muscle readers, you name it. Astrologers, psychics, clairvoyants, on and on and on. So you attentively listen, and they give you information. Now, either you're going to believe it or you're not. You'd be cynical or positive or in between. The external authority says, well, you're going to come into a lot of money here in a few months. Really? Yeah. Yeah, that's what the stars are saying. Or that's what the tea leaves are saying. And you say, wow. Then you say, how much? Some people say, how much? And they'll say, a lot. I don't know the exact figure. Wow, so that's going to happen. Now, at that point, you have a choice. You can say, okay, that's great. That goes to the universe, and the universe takes care of it from there. Now, you're not concerned as to when. We're not concerned as to when, how, why, period. Because we have that blinding faith and trust in ourselves and the universe. So we let it go. Detailed, of course, and because they give you the details and everything. And you let it go. Now the others, the one in between will say, yeah, maybe, maybe not. The other one will be so fixated on it, attached expectations, that it won't happen. Letting go brings it to you. Holding on pushes it away from you. Letting go brings it to you. Holding on brings it and pushes it away from you. So if you desire something to happen or you want something to happen, for goodness sakes, don't embrace it. In other words, don't grip it and hold on to it and not let go of it, because it will not happen. Instead, open the palms of your hands and let it just fly off with the confidence and trust and faith that you have in yourself and the universe. Boom. Done. Now, I'm not saying that's easy, because we have a tendency to gravitate back towards what? Wondering and, thinking and, well, if that really does happen, boy, what am I going to do with that? Now, how is this going to do? So on and so forth. And by doing that, it's pushed away. But on the now path, right, the one that you're on, that you choose to be on, none of that's there. None of it. It's gone. You literally begin to move into bliss, joy, and peace. That's it. Which, now, when you start to experience that, means that you're getting closer to the God that you are. It reveals itself to you. Now, we have parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are sound asleep. We have parts of ourselves that are awake. Now, the ones that are sound asleep, we deeply love them as much as we love the parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are awake. So the ones that are asleep, how do we turn up the heat, so to speak, to wake them up? Love. See, we don't understand it. We love parts of ourselves, but not all of ourselves. And that's the holdup. You love parts of yourself, but not all of yourself. When you love all of yourself, then the love flows outward much more than it is right now. And so what does it do? It floods parts of the God that you are, floods it with love, and they begin to wake up. It's like, you ever had your arm fall asleep? It goes numb, falls asleep, feels really weird, or your foot, and you try to stand on it, you can't. But when you start moving around, massaging and everything, paying attention to it, eventually circulation gets going and it's gone. That's the same with the awakening for all of us, for each of us. is part of the one. Turning within, discovering the God that you are. Staying with the God that you are. Now, when you look throughout the universe, this one and all universes, we're one. Doesn't matter what species, what civilization, we're one. The gods within all of us are one. Now, is that practiced? In some civilizations, yes, but many no, because the ego mind is still there, has not been mastered. The ego mind is put there so we can master it. And while we master it, we learn immensely about who and what we are. So when you focus on something, right? So parts of the gods that we are, ones that are awake, focus on this planet. And the focus is the total liberation of this planet. So you can go into Googleplexes. Googleplex fills this entire universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These are just countless Googleplexes from all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. You flood the planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it, with pure, deep, eternal love, infinity and beyond. So we're all in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to grow, and it continues to expand. We form this massive circle of white fire light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya. It emanates from the gods within these bodies. Pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. And it saturates this planet, permeates and floods it, 24/7, infinity and beyond. On it, in it, above it, and below it. All life, the highest supreme value in the universes. So we begin to ascend. And as we do, we're met with this massive ocean of glitter. And the ocean of glitter is each of us, the gods that we are in these bodies. That's the glitter. That's the sparkle. And it's a massive burst of light that literally grays out the darkness of sacred space. There isn't a light that you can compare to this light. You could take 1 trillion suns, group them, compress them together, and they would pale in comparison to this light. So we're all these microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched. We enter into, and we discover that all of us, facets of the one, learning from each other and teaching each other. Infinity and beyond is endless. Many on this planet miss that because they're absorbed through the ego mind in the physical material world. You see, you can enjoy the physical material world, but not become a part of it. How many people have you met, or seen, or watched, that are miserable, yet have great wealth, but are miserable? Buy anything they want to buy, but are miserable. You could look at a stranger teaches you something, comes in and out of your life. And it's interesting how we couple on this planet, because we look for others that are like ourselves, right? But how are we going to learn if we find others and couple with others who are like ourselves? What about coupling with others that are not like ourselves, so we learn from them and they learn from us? You look at a tree. Look at a tree, right? And trees teach us. You look at a bamboo tree and an oak tree. Oak tree teaches us certain things. Bamboo tree teaches us other things. Oak tree is very strong, very powerful, very steadfast, very firm, very unmoving. And then the bamboo is flexible, bending. And in a severe storm, the oak tree will break because it will not bend. A little bit, but not like the bamboo tree. Bamboo tree will just swing and bend and adjust, so it won't snap. And this is a comparison to teach us in this life. At times you bend. Other times you stand firm. The same with your pets, your cats, your dogs, your birds, whatever it may be. Teaching, learning. When we were kids, I bet you all of us at one time looked at something and we were in amazement, and we'd say, I wonder what it would be like to be that. Or you would ask your parents, have you ever been a dog? Have you ever been a cat? Of course, parents would say, that's silly. Well, we can be anything we want to be. We can go anywhere we want to go. We have no limitations. But when we enter these bodies, we pick up limitations, and they're all illusions. Now we're met with different columns of light. And we create these columns of light to remind us of things, the gods that we are. And Archangel Raphael carries a column of super bright emerald green flaming healing light. And Raphael's there to remind us that the gods that we are in these bodies have the power of healing these bodies. Now Archangel Michael, he carries a column of light, violet, blue, purple flaming light, to remind us, the gods that we are, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. And then we have this white firelight. And it protects our physical being in a white fire armor, which is deep, pure, eternal love, which emanates from the gods that we are within the bodies around the body. So, that's a very high frequency. As long as we maintain that frequency, we are protected. We are protected from lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, pure evil, corrupted souls. We are protected by demon possession, all kinds of things. Why is that? They can't hold their form in such high vibrational frequency. It's not possible. They can't. So what are they going to do? Well, they're going to stay away. But only you have the power. That if you decide, consciously or unconsciously, to lower your vibrational frequency low enough through hatred, anger, greed, revenge, hurriedness, envy, worry, stress, fear, dishonesty, manipulation, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough, create a breach in your white fire armor to allow all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies come flooding in. Then there's all kinds of possibilities. Demon possession, attachments, all kinds of things. Now, if you do decide to do this, we've built in fail-safes. All you got to do is know about them. So we create other columns of light. We have a double column of light. First part of the column is a purple transmuting flame. This is to remind us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance. Send them to pure consciousness where they are, no more. Second part of the column of light is the violet ray. We created this column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Then we're met with a golden white paint column of light. We, the gods in these bodies, created this column of light to remind us that we are the sunlight, we are the sun, we are the rain and the rainbows, we are the sunsets, sunrises, oceans, rivers, lakes, and streams, trees and forests and soils and animals, clouds in the sky, the mountains. We're everything. Everything is us. Now, we've been trained through illusion. So when we see these things, we say how beautiful it is, and we take pictures of it, movies of it. And it is beautiful. That part is true. Because it's the gods that we are within these bodies. It's all a reflection of the gods that we are. You see a rainbow, you see a sunset, starry lit night sky. Through the heart mind, that's the God that I am. What's happening is that we are eliminating the illusion of separation. Now, we continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us, that are carrying physical form, decide to step out of the physical form, hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do this is because we can, and it's really fun. Now, we come across a form that we created, the gods that we are, which is a crystalline light tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. And we discover that inside the column is an oblong sphere. Inside the sphere is this golden white bowl of light. In turn, it is surrounded by numerous color rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. This creates a super vibrant, white, bright, sparkling mist. And that mist is absorbed within our heart minds, and it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, we discover that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love. Then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And again, we discover that all of that is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, at the top of the column, we designed it so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, infinity and beyond, flooding, saturating, and permeating this planet and all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, on it, in it, above and below it. What is the golden ocean? It is pure, deep, eternal love. And all of us are drops of this golden ocean. And we also hold the essence of this golden ocean. The golden ocean is drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. Now we continue to ascend, and we come into full view of our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. All of us created this sphere, on and off world, over 4 years ago. It contains nearly 1,900 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Every day, 7 days a week, without fail, for over 4 years. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world, consciously aware. Liberation of this planet into the higher frequencies of pure, deep, eternal love. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. This is why it continues to intensify, expand, and grow. And all of this, and all of that deep, eternal, loving intent, raising the vibrational fields of this planet and all life, the highest supreme value universe. Now you see what's happening. You can see through your heart minds. In a meditative state, listening to the breath, focused in the now, you can see what's occurring. You see this black goop, and it's the blackest of the blackest black you've ever seen, and it's leaving the planet. It's leaving all surfaces, and it's going upwards. We, the gods, have created this golden white pink field of energy, of light, love. And the goop, the dark matter, is flashing. You can see it flashing. Pieces of it are vaporizing. Now, we created the sky in a deep golden white pink hue, light. So as they continue to leave the planet all over the place, you see them as they keep going up, and if they do make it to the sky, one big flash, and they are completely vanished, permanently. This is what's happening. All the pure evil, the corrupted souls, the rogue AI goop, all of it is being vanished. And what's the power that's doing that? The power of the gods that we are within these bodies? Of pure, deep, eternal love. It's the only thing that can do it. Quantum physics have now proven that the universe, this universe, is a holographic field of energy, matter, and consciousness. With your mind and body as a universal hologram containing the entire field, at last they've proven that the whole is contained within its parts. It may be good to know this, or even better to remember this, because someday all of us may want to sit down and explore this amazing universe out there. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose and an easy, slow breath out of the mouth. Be still. The conscious energy source flows into each new moment so quickly that you cannot catch it or escape from it. You are it. And it is showing you that you are an amazing being who is connected to everything in the most extraordinary ways. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. And we will return here Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guiding.